1:30 in the morning, and I finally get 5 minutes to record something creative. I've been working about 12 hours a day for weeks on end. It never rains, but it pours, so people want 1,000 things from me at once. I have nothing but creative ideas and no time to carry them out. Would be nice if I had huge tits so someone would, send $500 to my Patreon for doing nothing every month. But maybe I should be more perky. You guys, I totally have to get this off my chest. I know you've been waiting for a video, but I've been so busy with my Patreon and my meetups and my webcam work. Well, you know the drill. Anyway, I've been working so much that I haven't really been following politics except when I kind of surface for air and I come up and I look at Facebook and everyone is having another just nasty mudslinging argument in a tribal fashion over a political issue that most people on both sides are completely talking out of their ass about. I know you're not supposed to say the word retard anymore, but I can't think I'm supposed to be a wordsmith, but I'm so fucking tired I can't come up with a better term for what's going on in American political discourse right now than retard fight. I mean, if you can come up with a way to say retard fight that doesn't use the word retard, be my guest. Post it in the comments below. But idiot fight doesn't quite cut it. So one of the retard fights that, because of the new justice being named, everyone's reopening the Roe versus Wade idiot fight wound again. This is yet another of those topics where both sides are incredibly wrong. And they're shrieking at each other in this impassioned way. It's like watching two people who are sociopaths scream at each other, absolutely outraged because the other person is a sociopath. People who are pro-abortion, usually leftists, but not always. There's even a group of Democrats for abortion. It doesn't split so neatly, or at least it didn't used to when people used to think a little bit for themselves, but now it's become a completely tribal issue. So yeah, now it pretty much splits down the middle. If you're conservative, you have to be anti-abortion, and if you're on the left, you have to be pro-abortion, because that's what our team has decided that our position is going to be. So, for years, the left has had what would be a pretty good argument against the right stance on abortion if they were actually using the proper argument as opposed to using a straw man. And if they realized that the exact same argument can be turned back around on them. That argument being, it's so arbitrary. Conservatives care so much about the fate of a baby before it's born, but the second it comes out of its mother, they don't give a shit about it. In a sense, you're right. They do make a moral faux pas when the baby comes out of its mother, or dealing with the period of time when the baby comes out of its mother, but not in the way you think. You think that they don't give a shit about living, growing children because they don't want to pay their mothers to send the father out of the house. Okay? Your idea of the proper way for society to take care of a child and their idea of the proper way for society to take care of a child are different. People don't realize this. People don't realize that most people, stupid as they fucking are, think they're doing the right thing. So when liberals see conservatives arguing against social programs like welfare, which, eventually welfare from the liberal point of view, I guess, is just what we do to take care of children. But from the conservative point of view, it's yeah, we're paying irresponsible people to have children. And B, we're showing these kids that being a responsible adult and making your own living and feeding your own kids is not what you do. So you raise kids in this cycle of intergenerational dependence where they never see an adult who has a job. Conservatives don't think that's a good thing for kids. It's not that they're like poison-dripping vampires that just want babies to starve. No, they want to not pay mothers to kick the fathers out of the house. But liberals make this cute little joke that, or they're not liberals. I'm a classical liberal. They're not liberals. They're increasingly authoritarian communists. But anyway, their cute little pat statement that you don't care about the baby till it comes out of its mother. What an arbitrary reason to stop caring. I mean, you only care about the baby till it comes out of its mother. What an arbitrary time to stop caring. Well, you guys don't care about the baby before it comes out of its mother. So you're both arbitrarily deciding whether you care about this baby depending on which side of a meat curtain it's on. Like, if I walk through a shower curtain, am I less of a person or more of a person over here? Do you care about me more over here or more over there? But, so that exact same argument can be turned back around on you. And yes, I don't think a clump of cells at a week or 2 weeks is ending a life. But after that, you're pretty much killing someone. What was it, 10 or, no, it was 20 weeks. I think a baby survived. Thanks to medical technology, like 20 weeks came out, was viable. So it's kind of silly to pretend that you're not killing someone. On the other hand, when I say that conservatives don't care about the baby when it comes out of its mother, I don't mean that they don't want to do welfare programs. I mean that they're not thinking about what the fate of that child is going to be if you force a woman to carry a child to term. And neither of you care about this. But conservatives are very... They're not asking themselves the question, okay, this is killing someone. And then they morally flip out and go, whoa, this is killing someone, we have to stop it. They don't ask themselves, is killing someone always the worst thing that you can do to them? And people who are watching this video may know that I have an antinatalist background. I've given up on getting people to stop doing stupid things. I'm sort of more into damage control now. So this isn't coming from a, like, you know, terribly Legatian perspective right now. I'm trying to be practical. Conservatives, when you think about the people who want abortions, who are those people? Those people are women who don't want children. So what's worse? And actually, Davis Arini has made a similar argument. He said, if someone is that evil, it's kind of a paradox. If someone is so evil that they would kill a child in the womb, should they be having a child? Would their child be a good person? And that's a really good question. But even if the child were to be a good person, actually it's almost worse. I can tell you from personal experience, I've known lots of people whose mothers didn't really want to have a baby and had a baby anyway, and most of them died in their 20s, 30s, or 40s from various self-inflicted kind of misery situations. Like, we're not sure whether he killed himself or he just fell down the stairs drunk, but instead of dying very quickly, almost painlessly. Yes, very gruesomely, very murder-illy. But his mother killed him one way or another. And his father probably had a hand too. People, when you do an abortion, you're killing someone, but you might be kind of doing that person a favor. And the way that conservatives fail to care about children when they come out of the womb has nothing to do with frickin' welfare programs. It has to do with thinking about the real, very nightmarish consequences for that child of being born to a mother who doesn't want it and who resents it and who screams at it, maybe hits it. You know, you might say, well, that baby you're aborting might turn out to be Albert Einstein, but I think Albert Einstein's mother probably wanted him. I was going to say she wanted a baby, she didn't necessarily want Albert Einstein, but she named it, right? So literally, she did want Albert Einstein. The chances of somebody whose mother doesn't want to have a kid, having a kid and suddenly going, oh, well, suddenly I'm not a cunt. I guess I'm going to be nice and raise this baby wonderfully, are really, really low. The chances of a would-be abortion growing up to have a terrible life, suffering immensely, possibly freaking out and shooting a bunch of other kids in a classroom, probably feeding off the welfare state because mom has her shit not together in so many other ways. So you're both wrong. The pro-abortion people just keep wanting to insist that this is not a murder, and the anti-abortion people don't want to wrestle with the moral question of whether murder is always wrong. I mean, none of us question, well, some of us question, but the vast majority of people involved in this debate don't question killing ISIS. I'm not saying your fetus is ISIS, but ISIS causes a lot of suffering, and mothers who have children that they don't want also cause a great deal of suffering. So you're both wrong, and I'm sick of listening to your hysterical arguments. And I'm very tired. So I'll quit trying to drive my point home now, because either you understand the magnitude of suffering that someone goes through when their parents don't really want them, or you don't. My main point, I guess, is liberals like to talk about this debate in terms of a woman's rights versus, like, keep your shit out of my womb. Conservatives like to think about this debate in terms of, well, we can't let people who make shitty choices get away with just, like, vacuuming their shitty choices out of their womb and killing someone. But what everyone seems to miss is abortion isn't about, it's not about forcing the woman to deal with the children she's conceived. It's about whether you're going to force the children to deal with the woman who didn't use a condom or other birth control and doesn't want to have children. What a lovely combination to go into life with. You're not absolving her of any responsibility if you let her get an abortion. In fact, you may be robbing her of a welfare check. You're absolving the child the responsibility of living this shitty subpar life. And I'm sorry, you can blow flowers and sunshine up your ass all day long, but parents who don't love their children are a nightmare. And maybe that's hard to grasp, but it's a heavy moral issue, and it's just disgusting to see it turn into this shrieking match between two tribes, to the point where the actual moral issues get completely kicked out the door. So, I hope you all die of cancer. Wait, no, that's not very nice. I hope you